Hey everybody, welcome back to the Trap Dog Show. I'm your host, Trap Diggity Dog, and a quick recap before we get started on today's episode. Last episode, we built this wonderful wool farm you see in front of me. Got the horses on the side. It's got all 16 of colors, it's got spots for dye, and then when you walk on through, you reach the shepherd's house. Let's go meet the shepherds. These guys are really just here for extra emeralds. Only got 3 of them. All of them have different wool color trades, mostly the colors that I say I'm not going to use a lot, but I'm probably going to use those colors all the time. And where else would we get all these colorful sheep besides these Jeb sheep right here? Working hard, killing it out here in the fields. Alright guys, y'all are weirding me out. Don't look at me like that. And I would say we've successfully brought a little bit of color to this world by updating the hot air balloon AFK spot for the creeper farm. Speaking of which, let's go check on the creeper farm. I know that I need to extend the storage. I did have that is full. I put that to the side, and we have a second. So we have a double chest and some change. Also have a bunch inside, but I'm not counting that. I leave that in there for potions, just in case I ever need any splash potions. And if you remember, this is what we were working with before, just a plain boring white balloon. And this is what we're working with now. I've updated it a little bit since the last scene, just added a few redstone lamps, and I think it's looking a lot better. I will be building a few more of these at different heights. I just would rather have wings first, in case I fall to my death. Because that's a couple hundred blocks up there, and you see that long, ugly stack of scaffolding that I cannot wait to break and get rid of? Yeah, that's the only thing stopping me from sudden death right now. So needless to say, I won't be AFKing the creeper farm anytime soon. I also updated the nether portal. It is a nice boulder now. I originally opted for a match to the gazebo in front of the starter house, but I just couldn't get the roof right. I wanted to go with a more natural look. I really like the walk down this little hill, this little path. The deep slate kind of fades off in the dirt. It gets a lot more nature filled. You got the lily pad jumps. Ah, I love that. That looks so good. I also added a couple of extra villagers. I say a couple, but I'm not sure how many I showed on camera last time. All I really opted for was looting 3 so I could get a new sword. Not even a new sword, just so I could update my sword. I also went ahead and named my sword. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. And as you can tell, I've got sharpness 5, sweeping edge 3, knockback, fire aspect, mending, and looting 3 all on this one sword. Very expensive. A lot of people do not like knockback or fire aspect. I like killing food as I go, so fire aspect is a must. And I don't really mind knockback. I don't really notice it half the time it happens, but a lot of people aren't big fans. And to them, too bad, I'm keeping it. And of course, this isn't going to be the only sword that I make. I have a Bane of Arthropod sword that I'm working on building up. I have a Smite book that I will add to a sword and get it built up. And I will leave this sword at the spider farm. I will leave this sword at the zombie farm after I finally make it, which will probably be this episode. We'll find out. And those swords will just stay in an item frame at those farms for whenever it's needed. That way I don't have to waste my sharpness sword on zombies or spiders. And as I'm sitting here looking around at where we're going to build more villager houses, I want houses for all types of villagers, Fletchers, clerics, the whole 9 yards. I want villager houses for everybody. I want all the villagers possible. That way, if I ever need to, I can just come to spawn, do a little bit of trading, be done with it. The problem is, you see my food? Pretty low right now. And these guys have been taking all the wheat, trying to breed them up, and they're not even breeding. So I'm going to upgrade the wheat farm a little bit and hopefully we won't be having this problem for much longer. Alright, there it is. It was 2 layers, and now it's 4. I could probably keep going, but I really don't feel like extending this out even further. The redstone line's gonna be a little much in my opinion if I keep going. And now that I'm able to feed my cows, myself, and my villagers, I can get some more villagers bred up and maybe use them for a farm or just fill in the village. But as you see off of that, we get a little over 2 stacks of wheat, which is excellent, because then I can take a bunch of this and go breed these guys real fast. Almost makes me want a second cow crusher. Like, how far apart do these have to be for me to just keep crushing cows? Speaking of breeding villagers, for the next... Did you see that cat spawn behind me? And did he just get stuck in the boat? We got 2 cats in this boat. I put this boat down to catch a fox one day, and now I have a jelly cat. I might do something about these, since he just wanted to pop up anyway. Speaking of breeding villagers, there's one project I've been dreading to do because it's just so frustrating dealing with the villagers that are involved in the project, but we need an iron farm, and we need it pretty bad. So I'm gonna go probably like 100-200 blocks away, something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna go really far away, build us a little iron farm, build a nice AFK spot, and yeah, we'll have iron. Hopefully. I'll be using a Wattles design for this farm. Link will be in the description below, but it starts off with just a place for your villagers to stand and attempt to sleep, and once you have that, it's time for the long, frustrating task of moving your villagers to the farm. And before I can even do that, I need to create the world's longest dirt bridge just to be able to move the villagers over here. Hey, what's up, big dog? Got him. Just get rid of this. Oh. And at this point, the farm is most of the way done. I just need to get the collection system and the killing chamber ready, and then they can start spawning. And before you know it, we have our first iron golem spawn. I decided I'm not going to use the spot the iron farm says you should AFK. I'm going to build a little house next door, that way I can go AFK in peace without worrying about anything getting me. Alright, well here I am on a very rainy day 700, but I have a complete build, I have a complete iron farm, doing pretty good. In fact, let's go see how much iron we actually got from this thing. Well, I've gotten rid of all that pesky rain, and let's see what we got. That's 9, 18, 27, that's a lot. That's a lot of stacks of iron in just this, and some change. I'll use all these poppies and a composter to get some bone meal. And I think I'm going to turn these into blocks, just so we can keep using this one chest for storage, and eventually work our way towards getting a beacon. And I can't remember exactly how many blocks it takes to make a beacon, but just from all that, we've got 4 whole stacks of blocks and some change. And I left a little bit in there just so we can keep the storage organized. But I'm eventually going to come take those poppies and compost them, but that's a lot of blocks. I think that's more than enough to make a beacon. And if not, then it won't take too much longer to get there. I did put down a little bit of an interior in this house. I really like the way the exterior looks, so I wanted to do something to the interior instead of just leaving it plain, but there's a lot left to be desired. I really just put in a little workstation, some storage, a couple plants, and a way to get up to the top of the tower. And that's really it. There's a lot that I could still do. I might come back to this, but for now, I'm happy with it. And during that time lapse, I ran into a skeleton trap horse, and it spawned a couple of his buddies, but sadly all of them died, maybe to my thorns, I'm not sure. All of them died except for this guy, and he doesn't really have good health, doesn't really have good speed or a good jump, but I'm gonna keep him anyway just cause, you know, skeleton trap horse. Alright, if you remember a few episodes back, I found an enchanted golden apple in a zombie dungeon, and I told you guys it was really close to the spider farm that I've basically been walking past it every time I go get XP from the spiders. Spider farm's actually right there at the end of this hallway. This is the new zombie farm. No bubble elevator, cause bedrock, but it's only a couple blocks up. And once you get there, you got an enchanting area, you got a storage area, and I guess someone just converted into a drown. That's not typically part of it, but I'll take it. But the zombies spawn, they fall down here, they land on that dripstone, and it's usually about one hit to kill them, depending on what style armor they're born with. And I want to say the rates are good. The rates are usually good, but of course I'm recording right now, so the rates decide to completely stop. Not quite sure what's up with that. There we go, okay. But you get more XP this way anyway. The spiders just weren't doing it, so kind of like the zombie farm better. Been there for a little while. I'm gonna turn all this rotten flesh into emeralds pretty soon. Probably in the next couple episodes we'll get a few cleric villagers and we'll start trading. But I'm gonna stay here, get a couple levels, kill a few zombies, and I'll get back to you guys. And all these levels were so I could finally upgrade my hoe. Efficiency 5, Unbreaking, Mending, and Silk. Thank you. And now I'm probably gonna go ahead and mend some stuff while I'm here. Well, that's all for this episode, everybody. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good night.